Hey everyone, welcome. Today I'm excited for you to be here because today we are going to talk about our formula for success. And we're going to talk about the 4 F's for that formula. So we're going to alliterate a lot today. It was kind of fun. Earlier this week, I was on a webinar with Pace and Jim Kwik. Jim Kwik is the master of brain power, and he uses a lot of alliterations. And so today for our podcast, I thought it would be fun to use our formula for success and bring in Jim's alliterations to help us remember them better. So what's kind of fun about those alliterations is it does help you remember them a little bit better. So we're going to have the 4 F's in our formula for success. All right, guys, well, let's dive in. So when we think about success and the process of achieving your goals, the formula for succeeding, I want to walk you through some steps that are key to that success. And the 4 F's are faith, focus, forward, and fulfillment. And we'll go through each of those, what they mean, and how they apply to your success. And these are going to start building on each other. You need to have that faith first. You need to have the focus second in order to move forward and to come about that fulfillment. They all build upon each other. So let's talk about faith. Our first F in the formula for success is faith. Faith is this unwavering belief in yourself, your vision, and the process of achieving your goals. So you have to believe in yourself, in what you're doing, and develop this process to move forward. And it's really about trusting that you are worthy, that you have the ability to reach those goals, and that you are deserving of it. One of the things that can hold us back is a feeling of unworthiness and also a feeling that we don't deserve it. How many of you have been working towards something and maybe it's really big and it kind of scares you, and as you even get closer, you find that you self-sabotage a little bit, like you don't actually put in the effort. And that might be one of two things. That might be because you feel unworthy of achieving that success, that you are unworthy, or you may feel that you don't deserve it. Like maybe you haven't worked hard enough. What is important about the faith part of this formula is it really acts as that foundation for success. So faith acts as the foundation for your success. It empowers you to take risks and face challenges head on. One of the things that I think is interesting, when you feel like, okay, I can achieve this and I know I can do it, you're more willing to just go. And you're more willing to take that risk, even if it may seem hard, because you have this faith, this true faith that you can do it. Think about when we are learning to ride a bike. When you're like, okay, I see all the other kids doing it, I can do it. And it's just a matter of taking the risk to do it. And when you challenge yourself and you're able to take that risk, you will achieve that goal. The other thing that I think is important when you have this faith that I have the ability to achieve this, when obstacles come on, instead of feeling like those obstacles are true roadblocks, they actually become opportunities to solve problems. And I think about it like a puzzle. It's not that it's easy, right? It can be challenging and it can be difficult, but when you face it like an opportunity to problem solve, or you look at it as this is a puzzle, I just have to figure out how to get around it, you have the faith that you have the ability to get to where you're going. Those obstacles become less daunting. We all know obstacles will come up. And so when we have that faith of where we're going, then it makes it, I don't want to say easier because it's not easier. Those obstacles will come up, those challenges happen. But it helps us see it as just the next step in the process of what we're doing versus something that's holding us back. One of the things that you can do to help build that faith is cultivate an environment where you are building on your abilities, and you're also using visualization to help see your success. I think having an environment with people around you who are supportive and are positive, and they may be able to help you troubleshoot things or give you some advice or give you some good feedback, that is really helpful to move you forward as well. So having people around you, surrounding yourself with people who are also going for it is hugely important, because when you see them doing it and you have this thought of, if they can do that, I can do what I want. If they can do it, I can do it. And I think having that attitude is incredibly important to that faith overall. So other things that can be helpful are affirmations. Guys, every morning I write down, it's a paragraph now, it's quite several sentences of what I'm looking to do and how I want to feel about myself and what I want to manifest. Because as I continue to tell myself that, my subconscious is going to take over and start building. So all of those things are things that can help build your faith of purpose and faith of achieving the goals and the success that you're looking for. So faith, first step. Number 2, focus. And I really think these two go hand in hand. Faith and focus go hand in hand. But focus is really the building upon the faith that you can do it. And focus really refers to the clarity of vision that you have for what you're trying to achieve and this clear mental image of where you're going. Like GPS, you've heard this analogy probably 100 times. In order to use Google Maps to get where you're going, you have to put in a destination. If you don't have a clear mental image of where you're trying to go, you're not going to get there. It's about concentrating your thoughts and your energy on what you truly, truly want to achieve. So one of the things with this clear mental vision is I want you to really focus on like what this ideal success, what this ideal life looks like for you, what this goal truly is. And you need to be able to visualize what that looks like, what that feels like, what it sounds like, what it tastes like, what it looks like. All of those senses you want to incorporate into that vision. The clearer you can see yourself in that goal, achieving that goal, whatever that success is and what that looks like for you, the clearer you can see it, the more likely you're able to achieve it, because it helps your brain know what to look for, what to go for. A couple of things that can happen when you don't truly have this clarity of purpose. And I will tell you, for me, this book, The One Thing by Gary Keller, has been instrumental in helping with this, because once I focused on the one thing and knew what that is, that's kind of the hard part, right? Is trying to find the one thing. And this can be the one thing in many different areas of your life. I'm talking really more about like business and entrepreneurship for me on this specific topic. But once I found the one thing that I wanted to focus on, it was like I could stack the dominoes that I needed in place so that I can get to the goals that I have. That was huge. One of the things when you don't have that purpose, when you don't have that clarity of where you're truly going, the problem becomes distraction. And these shiny objects come around, and because you don't have your GPS set on that destination, when something else comes around that's somewhat similar, could be a good opportunity, even if it's not really what you wanted to do, but it's a good opportunity, but maybe it's not a good opportunity for you right now. It's hard to say no because you don't know where you're going. Now, if you have a destination, like let's say you're going to Disneyland. We live in Colorado. We would drive through Utah, Nevada, a little bit of Arizona and California to get to Disneyland. So if we had that on our GPS and someone else was like, hey, I would love to go to the Tillamook Cheese Factory. Like, that's a great opportunity and that would be fun. It's not on our route. It's not anywhere near where we're going. So great opportunity, but it's not an opportunity for us right now. But when you don't have that focus and that clarity of purpose and vision, you get distracted by those things and like, oh yeah, this is a good opportunity. That's a good opportunity. So what really happens when you're able to focus and narrow down, it does become easier to say no to those shiny objects. I have been working in capital raising and I was capital raising for all the things. And I was working on capital raising for different people. And anytime anyone would ask me, hey, oh, you're a capital raiser, can you raise from this? Yeah, sure. And you know what happened? It felt so overwhelming because there was this multifamily, that RV park, that mobile home park, that Airbnb, that co-living. And it was too hard to focus on all of those things and trying to raise for all those different deals. Once I truly found my lane and figured out where I wanted to go and found the people that I wanted to surround myself with, it is like a super highway. I'm telling you guys, it is amazing. I've heard people tell me, get a crystal clear vision, but I didn't know where I wanted to go until now. You might have to spend some time searching and trying to figure out where it is you truly want to be, what you want, not what everybody else wants for you, what you think would be good, what it is that you truly want. And then when you're able to do that, things do improve. Things do really solidify in a way that it does feel like you're on this super highway and you can focus, and it's easy to say no to those distractions. And one thing he talks about in that book, the one thing is once you have your yes of the one thing, you have to defend it with 1,000 no's, because you're going to get bombarded with all those different opportunities. I had someone text me a couple of days ago, hey, are you still capital raising? Yes, I am, but I can't raise for you. I have my focus. And even though like I don't love to disappoint people and I want to help people, so it's hard for me to say no, knowing my purpose and where I'm going made it so much easier to say no in that instance. But I was able to say, no, I can't raise for you. But if I have anyone who is capital raising, I can send them your way. And if I have anyone who's looking for the opportunities that you're raising for, I will send them your way. Perfect. That's great. We're still helping each other, right? And he did the same thing. Let me know what you're raising for. And if I have anyone that fits that criteria, I'll send them to you. Perfect. It just feels so much easier in that realm when you have your focus. So number 2 is focus. Clarity of vision and purpose is huge. Have a clear mental image of your goal. Now, things that you can do to help, really spend some time thinking about it. What, like we said earlier, what do you want? What is it that you're working towards? What is that goal? And sometimes writing it down, journaling it out. The other thing that might be a good idea is doing a vision board. A couple of weeks ago, for those of you on video, you can see my vision board. A couple of weeks ago, I sat down and put stuff on paper. And I have one for my entrepreneurship and one that's a little bit more personal, like my health goals, my spiritual goals, those type of things. And I have one that's specific for entrepreneurship. And anytime I'm like, feeling a little doubtful or uncertain of where I want to go, I can look at these things and be reminded of the purpose I have and that clarity of vision that I've created, so I don't get distracted. And I think that can be really helpful for you. All right, number 3, the third F. So we've got faith, we've got focus, and now we've got forward. So now we have to take this faith that we have the ability, the worthiness, and the capability and the deservingness of achieving these goals. We have now focused and clarified our vision. Now we need to move forward. So this is all about action. Forward represents action, the steps that you take to move forward towards your goals. It really is the commitment that you're making your vision a reality through consistent effort. This is where the woo that we were doing meets the work, as Jenna Kutcher likes to say, where the woo meets the work. This is the action, the steps that we're putting in place to move forward. What I love about that book, The One Thing, is he talks about the dominoes. And what I have found is, again, once you find your faith and your focus and you know where you're going, you can start lining up those dominoes. You start with where you're going and then you reverse engineer it. And when you reverse engineer it, you can see the steps that you need to take to move forward. And to me, it's like I'm putting that domino down because it's going to be knocked over by the effort and the actions that I'm putting into place now. This is where we go from this big, massive vision. Guys, I have big goals. I don't know how I'm going to get there, but I know right now little steps that I can take to start moving there. And as I start getting closer, it's going to open up that clarity and I'll be able to stack the next dominoes. So really it is about knowing where you want to go and finding the small steps right now that you need to put in place to start building that momentum moving forward. The action piece in moving forward is really taking one step at a time. But what it does is help start translating that vision into reality. I have these vision boards. That's great. But if I'm not doing anything working towards them, they're not coming true. I have to start moving. I have to start doing in order for this to happen. So it's really translating that vision into reality. So what this action also starts doing is building momentum. When you take one step and then another, it's easier to keep going. An object in motion remains in motion. So once you get going and start building that momentum, guys, that's going to carry you forward towards success. So it's really helpful, even if it's small movements. What can I do today? Can I start a journal? Maybe it's just 5 minutes. Maybe it's 1 minute. Can I start a gratitude practice? Can I start researching what a podcast looks like? Can I start posting once a day? Small, bitty steps that you're going to start building upon is the actions that you need to start with. And then you'll figure it out as you go. And that's the hard part, right? There is no cookie cutter, step-by-step guide for this. It's a choose your own adventure, unfortunately. And sometimes we choose the wrong direction, but we can always come back and regroup and keep moving forward. So really the application piece of moving forward and taking action is taking those big goals that you have and breaking them down into smaller, manageable tasks, actions, things that you want to do and need to do to move forward. Now, this may be developing a daily action plan. Maybe it's a weekly action plan. Maybe it's all of it. Maybe it's, here's my big 10-year goal. What's my 5-year goal? What's my 3-year goal? What's my 1-year goal? What's my monthly goals? What's my weekly goals and daily goals to help build you up? What I love about that is it takes this big, massive, huge vision that you have. And guys, I hope you dream big. And it takes that big vision and drops it down to small bite-sized steps. When you have those small steps that you're working towards, you're going to start collecting wins. And those wins along the way create momentum that moves you forward, that builds up that movement, and it's just going to propel you forward. So break those larger goals into smaller goals. Start stacking up those wins that are going to create the momentum to continue to move you forward. And then the last one is fulfillment. And fulfillment really is about the joy in the journey. Fulfillment really is about the gratitude of what you're building and what is coming, and being grateful in the moment for all that you're going to achieve. And I know that seems, again, kind of back to the woo, but when you have this gratitude and you're recognizing the progress that you have made and that you are making, it also is the fuel to your fire and the fuel to your momentum. When you practice being thankful for your journey and what is to come, it does help manifest those dreams. It helps manifest those desires. It's really powerful. When you can be thankful for what you're going to receive, it builds on that faith, right? Builds on the faith that it is coming. It is going to happen. Let me give you an example of how this has worked for me in the past and how I'm seeing it starting to play out again in the future. So one of the things I had done previously before I really got into real estate was some other network marketing stuff, and I created a vision board there. One of the visions that I had was me working from home and wearing jeans every day. Like, if I could just wear jeans every day, that was exciting. And that didn't happen initially, but I would see it and I would be like, oh, I'm so grateful when that happens. And, within probably a year, that actually did come true. And that did happen. And it's awesome to look back and see that being grateful for what is to come is also driving those actions as you move forward. And I want to encourage you that though the forward motion and the fulfillment is hard because this is where it just takes time and you can't rush it. You can move fast, but you can't rush it. And it may move faster than you anticipate. Maybe it's slower than you anticipate, and that can be a little difficult. But when you're just thankful and grateful for what is coming, it's a whole different feeling because it's not about if it happens. It really is about when, and being excited for when that happens. And that will continue to happen in your life when you have this gratitude towards what you're doing. So gratitude really fosters a positive mindset, and it allows you to truly appreciate where you are and what you're striving for. The other thing it does is, we can talk about the law of attraction, the law of vibration, but when you have a positive attitude, that puts you in a different level of vibration. You vibrate, you resonate at a higher level, and that is attractive. Positivity breeds positivity, and that will bring more things into your life. And I do feel like that also helps reinforce your focus, your faith, and also your forward movement and moving those actions into what you need to be doing to get there. So it all wraps together. Things that you can do to put this into place, this application of this F in the 4 F's of success, is really adding, I do think adding gratitude to your daily routine is highly important. I told you that I write down some affirmations for the day, and then I write down 3 things I'm grateful for. The other thing that I do is I voice text my friend, Tana, and every morning she gets a text from me really early for her because she's an hour behind me. But I voice text her my gratitudes for the day, what I'm grateful for, what I'm thankful for, and then I also add in my affirmations. So she gets to hear that. I think several things are important about that. One, when you're not only thinking about the things that you're grateful for, but you're also expressing that to others, I think that helps reinforce a positive mindset and a grateful attitude within you. And 2, with saying my affirmations out loud, several things happen. So 1, I write it down. So I write it, so I have the kinetic, but I'm also thinking it while I'm writing it. So I think it, I write it, and then I speak it and I hear it. So I'm using all those different senses to reaffirm those affirmations within me, and that just helps my subconscious go. My reticular activating system is on superdrive, and I think this really is a huge key. And I would encourage you to do this. Find someone, maybe it's your business partner, maybe it's someone that you're super close with, maybe it is, your spouse or your kids, someone that you can do this practice with to put that gratitude and those affirmations out into the universe for you to hear, to see, to listen to write out. All of that stuff is really important. The other thing that I would make sure you're doing in this gratitude practice is really acknowledging those who are supporting you. I have an incredible group of women that I am a part of that we kind of just gelled together very organically. And what I love about our group is that we're all doing a little bit different things. We're all in real estate, but we're all doing a little bit different things. And we can come together and share our wins. And the support that we have is tremendous. Now we can also come together and say, hey, I'm struggling with this. I need help with this. Can we workshop this together? And we can all come together to help uplift, support, provide solutions, provide different perspectives, and help each other move towards our goals. I would encourage you to have that as well. Find that little group, that mastermind of, 4 or 5 people that you can be around who are going in big directions just like you want to do, right? Because you become like the 5 people you surround yourself with. One of the things I was listening to, the one thing this morning, and he called it this upward spiral of success. When you're around people who are striving and working and encouraging and have these same attributes, they're going to help lift you up, and it's going to be this upward spiral of success. You're going to help them, they're going to help you, and it becomes this beautiful, beautiful movement, this beautiful cycle of helping each other achieve and attain more. So all of those things together are this huge formula for success. It is very simple. That doesn't mean it doesn't require a lot of work, a lot of focus, a lot of mental energy. But when you put those 4 F's of success together, your faith, your focus, your forward movement, and the fulfillment, that gratitude, when you bring that all together, guys, it is like a super highway towards success. Now, that doesn't mean it happens in the timing that you expect, but it will happen. You just have to keep going. I hope this was helpful for you. When I start thinking about this formula for success, it really helps me narrow down the things that I'm working on and really provides a framework for moving forward. And I hope that is the same for you. Let me know your thoughts. Thank you guys for following this podcast. Thank you guys for being a part of my journey. And I look forward to sharing with you my successes, my obstacles, any failures where I'm learning and growing. I will share those with you because we do better together. So thank you so much. Please like and subscribe. Please share this with any of your entrepreneur friends or anyone else that you feel like this could be helpful for. And we'll see you next time.